Afternoon intuitives. This is my second attempt at this video because I've fumbled more than normal through the first one. And this video is going to be a broad one. You know I'm not big on these, but I've been putting this off for months to find a way to do an intro video into a new topic that I've said for a while I'm going to be talking about. And it is witchcraft. We're going to talk about witchcraft. You know I'm an INFJ Sigma demisexual, well, heterosexual. INFJ Sigma heterosexual demisexual male. Yeah. And I am also a solitary pagan witch, primarily devoted to the goddess Diana, the goddess of the moon, the goddess of the hunt, and queen of the witches. That's my girl. Okay. So, like I said, this is going to be a basic introduction video that's just going to touch upon a lot of topics that'll eventually get their own video on this subject. But as INFJs, witchcraft appeals to us more than it does to most people. It's pretty simple. We are very spiritual people that like deep thinking and like putting pieces of puzzles together. And are idealists, and we want our ideas to come to fruition. You know, that's very appealing for witchcraft. And we hate double standards and love equality, which for males and females, that leaves witchcraft. And we also believe that the impossible just takes longer, hence spells and witchcraft. So the most basic question I get from people when they ask me about witchcraft is they want to know about spells. Spells. That didn't mean anything. Probably. What is magic? Well, and for those of you that are witches watching this, understand, this is a broad introduction video, and I'm not good at these broad introduction videos. And this is geared more towards non-witches, but thanks for sticking around. And okay. So what is magic? Magic, in terms of spell casting, is basically using one's will and intention to try to bend the rules of chance in order to make your petition possible. And this can be done in many ways. There's many forms of magic. There's candle magic, there's knot magic, there's making charms, there's smoke magic, there's magic on the breath, cord magic, but the most common is candle magic, where one will dress a candle. We'll get into that another time. You're going to hear me say that'll get its own video a lot in this video, by the way. That'll get its own video for candle magic and how to dress a candle. And you write your intention on it sometimes, put different herbs and oils. And try to project your will and intention out into the world through the gods and goddesses that, you work with, or your ancestors, or the spirits of the land, or whatever you use. And that's your goal, is to project that your intention and your will to bend the rules of chance to make your petition happen. Which, of course, it doesn't always happen, especially if you're asking for something that cannot be, or that is highly improbable. The highly improbable, probably will, bend the rules of chance. You go for something that's, highly improbable, and realistically, without witchcraft, if your chance was like 0.0002%, and it's like, well, I'm just going to do a spell, bend the rules of chance. Okay, now it's up to like 4%. Yeah, he's trying to win that lottery, or date that 100 millionaire. Yeah, good luck. I mean, best of luck to you, really, but it's probably not going to work out that way. Even with spell work, you have to do the work outside of your spell work to try to make that intention happen. For example, in 2019, I had this witch's rosary made for me by Lori Bruno, who runs a shop in Salem called Magick. She is also an Italian witch. She actually descends from Giordano Bruno, as I descend from Giacomo Casanova. And she's very knowledgeable, especially, she helped me out a lot because the older people in my family that didn't tell me all of our family tradition has since passed away. So I kind of had to stumble in the dark and reach out to other people from both, the Italian tradition and from traditional British witchcraft, like non-Wiccan witchcraft. They kind of adopted me too. So, and I add a little Celtic in there. So it's a chimera for me. My my practice is my own. As I said, I'm a solitary. I'm not a part of any coven. I've worked with a few covens from time to time, and there are certain spells that can only be cast in a coven. And I'll give you some basic witchcraft information right now too. Ever wonder why the number 13 is so important to witches? Yeah, it's easy. 13 full moons in a year, hence 13 members of a coven. Okay, and you ever wonder, what's the deal with that hardcore magic? That blood magic. Yeah, well, okay, blood magic for certain things, particularly fertility, is a type of magic that's used, and you got to be really sure because no, I'm kidding. You don't have to be like really someone's gonna die. No, most of the time when somebody uses blood magic, you're using about as much blood as a diabetic uses to check their sugar, and you use a diabetic lance. It's not as gruesome as you think. You're putting your DNA, yourself, your history into that spell, and I hear things like, well, with spell casting, women are far better than men at it. In a lot of cases, yeah, 85% of witches are female, so there's just not that many males of us out there. It all depends. Each witch specializes a lot of times in a certain type of magic, so, whereas, like, I might be better at candle magic than one of my female sisters. Then again, she could kick my ass in knot magic and magic on the breath and blood magic. Well, blood magic's a little different. Women are, by definition, no matter what, better at blood magic. It's real simple. Do 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 do. Lunar cycles. Do 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 do. Menstrual blood. Yeah, menstrual blood is arguably the most powerful magic ingredient any witch can add to a spell, and we boys don't have that. It is, there is a lot of power in menstrual blood. It is used for very, very powerful spells most of the time, often fertility spells. There, that's the dark secret behind some of blood magic, if you were curious. But back to my main point, magic and spell work is basically bending the rules of chance. That's really, you can break it down to that simple. You're trying to invoke higher powers, spirits, ancestors, gods, goddesses, spirits of the land, in order to make a certain intention come true. And as idealists, as INFJs, as I said, pretty appealing to us. Wouldn't you want to manifest that world in your mind into reality? However, it is important to be careful. Sometimes spells can go wrong. Sometimes you should be careful what you wish for. I was told by Ms. Bruno that this would work, that I would get the job I wanted. And she warned me that it would not go as planned, but that what I do after it doesn't go as planned will lead me to a life I would dare even to imagine of. I'm still waiting on that, by the way. We're not there yet. So far, she's been right, but who knows what she means, Well, I'm going to guess unconditional love because, anything more important than my dream job. So, you have to be careful sometimes when spell casting, it's not evil and nefarious most of the time. Yes, hexing is a type of spell. Not all witches hex, and certainly not all spells are hexes. That's a video for yeah, a subject for a different video. But I wanted to give a basic intro video into witchcraft and let you know that I'm going to be doing, more videos on specific topics in witchcraft, and those will be more coherent, by the way. This is my fumbling intro video to basically start a new playlist. And since spellcasting is usually the first question people have, quickly followed by, can you help me win the lottery? Or can you make this celebrity fall in love with me? And the answer to both is no. Well, the answer to no is probably not. Probably not. Listen, if I possessed that kind of power, would I be sitting where I am today? Wouldn't I be working my dream job? There you have it. It's about bending the rules of chance, not making things appear out of thin air. You have to do your part. Like if you're casting a job spell, you actually, need to research the company and do well on the interview. It's not just like, job spell might be like, well, I had a 40% chance of getting this job and now I have a 70% chance because it bent the rules of chance in my favor, kind of thing. It's just a basic intro. Like I said, there'll be other witchcraft videos. The others will be more interesting, I promise, because they'll be about specific topics. But this is my second attempt at doing this, so this one's going up, even though it's still not the way I want it. But I'm trying to overcome perfectionism, because I'm an INFJ. Alright, thanks for listening. Please don't unsubscribe. I seem to be losing one subscriber for every 2 I get. But thank you for helping keep the channel growing. Hopefully soon I can reach the milestone of 1,000 and, the algorithm will help me out a little bit and help these videos reach more people and help them better understand what it's like to be an INFJ or an ENFJ or, someone who has been through narcissistic abuse or now